Hi, my name is Celeste McCarthy. I'm a nutritionist here at Protea Medical Center in Tempe, Arizona. And I wanted to talk a little bit today about carbohydrates. Carbs are one of our three macronutrients. We have protein, fats, and carbs. And for many years, Atkins rose to popularity in the diet culture world on its emphasis on eating fat to lose fat. And what happened when that happened is that carbs got really reduced and eliminated out of a lot of people's diets. And then people would read information about it and talk to people about it and hear these phrases about eating fat to lose fat, and carbs were bad. So what ended up happening is there's a lot of people started to have negative connotations about eating carbs, myself included. And there is a certain conversation that needs to be had about carbohydrates and how simple processed carbs can really be detrimental to our overall health. It can raise our insulin levels, it can spike our blood sugar, it can keep us in a state of metabolic unrest because we're eating too much sugar, too many simple carbs, too many starches. So then we're following what I call chasing the dragon of sugar. So you'll have a crash in the afternoon and have a latte and a scone and feel really good and energized, and then you'll crash again, and the craving pathway for sugar will be activated if you eat too many simple carbs. So all of that is really important to understand. But what happened when all the negative talk about carbs happened is that people forgot that carbs also include fruits and vegetables. Carbs also include complex grains like quinoa and brown rice, a lot of the other grains besides just simple white bread that have a lot of fiber in them. We need carbs for energy sources. We need carbs to fuel up our bodies, to get through the day, to work out, to feel energized, to make it through the day. Sometimes you'll have a crash in the afternoon mid-workout, not because you're not eating enough protein, but because you're not fueling yourself with enough source of healthy carbohydrates. So here at Protea, we're going to be using an app soon, a nutrition app, to help us track the amount of carbs that we eat and really kind of understand the relationship to carbs in our body, maybe in a different way than what we've been taught for the last 10 years, 20 years during the Atkins and the high-fat, low-carb era. And we do counsel a lot of our clients and patients about the ketogenic diet, which can be very beneficial from a metabolic standpoint if your lab work shows that you have insulin resistance. For a period of time, it can be very helpful to lower down your insulin resistance by reducing greatly your total carbohydrates. And then your body will burn fat by eating fat first, so you don't have the cloud of carbohydrates getting in the way of your body working to burn through fat. So that can be helpful for a while. But what happens if you're on a ketogenic diet for too long is your body can start to get less energy because you're not eating enough carbs. You're not giving yourself enough macronutrients that you get from carbohydrates, enough fiber, which can be detrimental long term. So what we're starting to counsel a lot of our patients to do is to look at your relationship with carbs and maybe look at it in a whole new way. Complex carbs and proteins and fat every couple hours is a really important part of a vital diet for life, not just for a season or a period of time where you're trying to lower your insulin resistance or do certain metabolic things with the doctors here in office, along with the nutrition department. Once you have your metabolic pathways dialed in, you're starting to get more energy, and your lab work shows that you're more vibrant from your cellular level from all the food that you're eating, then you can start to look at carbs and fill in the blanks of what carbs to eat with what protein, with what fat. So Twinkies are a carb, and so is broccoli. So if you're going to be eating your carbs from processed foods, then of course that's a conversation to be had about reducing or replacing the simple carbs you're eating with something that has more fiber, more nutrients, more density, more energy, that's going to fuel you up and give you a good carb load, not one that's going to cause you to spike and then crash later on. So it's something that we all need to kind of look at coming out of the diet culture with Atkins and high-fat, low-carb. Understand that carbohydrates are a vital part of our diet. If we eliminate one of the three macronutrients, then long-term your body's going to suffer from that. Your energy is going to suffer, and you might start to lose muscle and bonk out in your workouts and not feel as vital as you should feel by eating a really healthy, well-balanced diet. So just some food for thought. We're happy to talk about carbs more in depth on your appointments and help customize meal plans that can help you choose good for you carbohydrates that's going to fuel you up and not help you crash out. I hope this was helpful. Reach out if you have any questions, and thanks for watching. Have a beautiful day.